There's a brand new secret glitch inside of the forge that's completely broken. With this secret glitch, you're actually able to defeat any enemy inside of the entire game, including the Peak's brand new boss, the Ice Golem. If you do learn anything new in this video, I would very much appreciate it if you could go ahead and subscribe. It means the world to me, and we're really trying to get 550k subs before the end of February, so please subscribe. But let's get right into this because this is pretty crazy. A few days ago, I actually went ahead and made this sword right here. As you can see, this is one of the best swords inside of the entire game, and now it's actually gotten significantly better. This sword basically has every single trait you can think of on it. On top of that, with it being level 6, it does over 292 damage. This thing I'm about to show you is so much better than this thing could ever be, unfortunately, and I'm kind of sad. What if I told you that you could go ahead and make yourself a sword or any type of weapon that has the ability to freeze enemies indefinitely? Currently, right now, there is a brand new ability, and I'm so surprised nobody noticed this because it has to do something with this freeze ability. As you can see, freeze on this weapon freezes enemies for 2 seconds. It has a 33% chance of happening, but it has a 12-second cooldown. This is pretty decent when it comes to bosses, you know, but if I want to go ahead and use it on an enemy, sure, they get frozen. However, I can't do that for another 12 seconds. And when you're fighting things like bosses or stuff with a lot of health, this would be very beneficial to use. So what if I told you we could make it literally reset the cooldown in literally like 1 or 2 seconds, and you can basically infinitely freeze the enemies? To do this, you do need a few materials, and I'm going to show you how you can get all of them, as well as showing you different ways of crafting it in case you obviously, you know, don't have some materials. The thing that's been getting very popularized by a lot of people has to do with stuff such as, I believe, etherealite, yeti heart, as well as things like either the Surya Fall or the Void Star, and one special item which allows us to do this thing, and that's, if I can find it, the eyesight right over here. Now, before I get into all the materials, I will say if you do not have the eyesight, you cannot do this. You must be able to get the eyesight, and luckily there is so many easy ways to obtain this thing. It says it's a 1 in 10,000 chance, but fun fact, the easiest way to get it is inside of the first area in the entire game, aka the spider cave. If you actually just come over here with a decent pickaxe and you start spam mining everything, your chances of getting this thing are very likely, and you can actually go ahead pop a luck potion to help this. There we go. I got my luck potion on, and actually I believe there's also an achievement too, of course, so make sure you also have the luck boost achievement on when you're doing this. It will help you. But if you go ahead just like smack these rocks for a little while, you will actually be able to get it. You can even just mine the pebbles. You don't have to get the rocks or anything. But I've gotten so much of them. I mean, if I show you right now, how many do I have, bro? I have so many. Yeah, I got 37, bro. It would have looked a lot better at 6-7, but you know. But this ability is currently broken inside of the game, because if I go ahead and show you guys a weapon I have created using one of these, you will notice it's very strange looking. Down here, it should be a yes. I have made this Void Star katana, and as you can see on the ice ability, it has this thing where it freezes enemies for 0.3 seconds. It has a 3% chance on hit, and it has a cooldown of only 1.8. Now, obviously, with the 3% chance on hit, that is terrible. Like, that would become one of the worst things, actually, and you probably wouldn't want that. But luckily, we are able to get the chance of it way higher while keeping the cooldown super low. And I highly recommend you guys do this, because if you do not do this before like the next update, I am sure it's going to get patched. So as soon as you're seeing this video, I highly recommend you get into doing this. But wait, because there's so many important things you have to make sure you do right. The way you're actually able to make this significantly better is by placing some runes on it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is with this test subject, which by the way, I will make some better ones, is I'm going to go ahead and actually upgrade this thing, right? This is a little bit expensive because the multiplier was on it was very high, but it's fine. I mean, I'll be able to get the money back later, but even if you just get one slot, that's fine. Since it's not my main weapon, I'm just gonna get one slot for now. But then you want to go ahead and go to the rune maker, and this is where you are actually able to place a rune on it that will make this so much better. For this specific rune, it's actually gonna be the frost spec rune. There's actually a tier 1 as well as a tier 2 for this, which the tier 2 can only be obtained from fighting the boss, but both of them will do the job and, you know, give you that ice ability. Personally, I much prefer the tier 2 because if you can get it, you can get some insane things with it. Right now, what I have with the tier 2, one of mine gives me 3 things. I got ice 2, lethality 1, and crit damage 1 altogether. But your primary goal is very important on what the ice ability says. What you want is something that says a very high 40% chance on hit. I believe this is the highest one I have right now, so that's what I'm going to use. But as you can see, this frost spec, this normal one that I have, has a 80% chance on hit with 3 abilities. So if you technically have, you know, both rune slots on it, I highly recommend go ahead throw both on. But personally, since I only have one and the main primary focus on this specific katana is to get a very high chance, I'm gonna use the 40%. Oh, and if you're wondering how to get this, I'm quite literally sure you can get it from any single one of the enemies inside of the spider cave. So definitely not something hard to get whatsoever, as long as, you know, you have grinded a little bit. Yeah, I just got a frost spec right there. However, I don't know if it's going to be as good because it's only a tier 1 and you're going to want to keep doing this until you get something pretty good. So frost spec, as you can see, this one, yeah, it's only a 70% or 17% chance. That's not that good. But as you can see, I've now gone ahead and I applied the frost spec. This is the same exact one I showed you, the one with the 7% additional attack speed, so a little bonus there too. But now, the thing that you're gonna notice is if I go ahead and look at this thing, the katana, where is it? Hello, what is it called, bro? Tachi or something? Right here. As you can see, looking at the freeze, it has a 43% chance on hit with a cooldown of 1.8 still. And as you can see, it also freezes them for 2 seconds, meaning the cooldown is literally shorter than the amount it freezes, making this entire thing infinite. But wait, before you craft it, you really want to watch this part because you could completely mess this up. First of all, to prove to you that this does actually work, I'm going to go ahead and equip the current one I have. Like I said in this video, I do want to go ahead and make a better one. But this thing is actually already better than my best sword inside of my entire game right now. Because what this does is literally 200 damage. It's a level 4 only. And I mean, when you're infinitely freezing something, what's the harm in that? But take a look at this. Boom, I hit this guy, he is frozen. If I come over here, hit this guy, since obviously there's that cooldown, now he's frozen once again. This actually works the absolute best on the boss, which is why you want to make this. And right now he has a 3-minute cooldown. Okay, I'll be back once he's ready. But hey, bro, while you're waiting, go ahead and subscribe, please. But here we go in 3, 2, 1. All right, boom, the boss is here. And now if I go ahead, use the same exact katana, we will basically be able to infinitely freeze this boss. Now, the katana does attack a little slower, which is a problem. But as you can see, he's frozen. And I can just go ahead and keep swinging at him. And he can't use his abilities at all, bro. There's nothing he can do. Now, I will say, I think the boss has one single ability that has the kind of power to bypass this. And it's this one right here. Because he's dropping stuff from the sky. So you actually can't stop that unless you're able to stop it from happening. But every single ability other than that can literally just be infinitely frozen. Now, let's go ahead and make this thing significantly better with some of the best recipes in the game. Now, I will have to clarify this. You do want to go ahead and have a very fast attack speed. The katana does not do this. The attack speed on this is terrible, 0.63. You don't want that. So what you're going to actually go ahead and do to basically bypass that system is use the portal right here and actually head over to the Forgotten Kingdom. I think you can also do this. No, actually, you cannot do this in the first world. You have to do it in the Forgotten Kingdom. The reason is why you're here is because there's a single item that you actually cannot craft, and that is the gauntlet right on over here. This is your best friend. I will say, if you do not get the gauntlet in this and you end up getting a straight sword, unfortunately, if you have the Hell Slayer recipe unlocked and stuff, you can't get it in this world. but it's okay because the recipes for this are really cheap and you could go ahead keep doing this over and over. In total, to do this method, you're going to use 9 ores. Remember that. Now, there's currently 2 methods that you can do. Personally, one of my more favorite ones is this one, where you go ahead and throw in, where's my void stars? You need 3 void stars. The reason why you have void stars here is actually for its crit chance. This will increase your critical chance, meaning you basically do more damage. And then, it does also take away health from you, but luckily you will be able to cancel that out, so it won't be a big problem. You really don't need health for this. And then the next material you want to go ahead and throw in is 1 eyesight, and make sure you only throw in 1 of this. This is the only required thing that you need for this to work. Everything else that we're actually adding is just to get the multiplier very high up, the traits very high up. That way the sword is dealing damage very quickly. So we got 1 eyesight in there, 3 void stars. The next item you want to go ahead throw in, it depends on your choice, but the first recipe I'm going to show you is going to be with the Surya Falls, where you actually go ahead throw in, I believe, 3. Surya Fall actually doesn't really do anything here. The only thing it does is increase your multiplier, because as you can see now, we are at a whopping 12x, bro. And the last thing you want to go ahead throw in here for traits, this will depend on what you prefer, but you can choose between either 2 golem hearts or 2 yeti hearts. I highly recommend you just go with whatever you have, but the golem hearts are technically better. I just believe they don't give you a attack speed boost versus what the yeti hearts do, but it also has a higher multiplier to use the golem. The other method you can do is very similar to what I actually just showed you, except you're gonna go ahead throw in 3 void stars, and instead of the Surya Fall, you're actually gonna go ahead, or well, obviously make sure you throw in your eyesight, which right there, you only want 1, like I said. And instead of the Surya Falls, you can actually go ahead throw in anything. This item is just going to be whatever has the highest multiplier for you and that you have 3 of. Looking at my items, the Surya Fall is the highest, so this is what I would use. However, if you don't have that, you can go ahead throw in some substitutes, such as the Evil Eye. This has a 13.3 times multiplier. You can also go ahead throw in something like, I believe, Ethereal Lights. Yes, you can go ahead throw in 3 of those. And for the last item, like I said, choose between the Golem Heart or the Yeti Heart, and you want to make sure you have 2 of those in. Since the Golem Heart is better, I'm actually going to construct my first recipe with the golem heart, and in my opinion, what I'm about to create right now is the best thing you can get. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is throw in 3 Surya Falls, 3 void stars, 1 eyesight, because obviously you need it, like I said a billion times. And last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in 2 golem hearts. This will actually give me a 65% chance at getting the 1 in 4 chance thing, or basically a gauntlet, and that's what we're going for. I will say though, what I did in my last video where I made my best weapon was completely removing everything and throwing in like my garbage, bro. So I'll go ahead like make a tungsten weapon out of this first with the same chance. So we want to have a 65% chance, and what this is basically going to do is kind of tell me when I think it's a perfect time for me to actually make what I want to make, because as you can see, we got a weapon that's terribly worse, and in my opinion, I have better luck just making a couple junk weapons and then praying that the game gives me my next weapon as something really good. So since this one is very poopy, what I'm basically gonna do is just, you know, accept it and then go ahead and make another one, you know, just to make sure. And here we go. I'm just gonna use my malachite. It literally doesn't matter, but it looks like for this weapon, wait, isn't that good, bro? Oh no, I actually have not made a gauntlet in a very long time, so I don't know what gauntlet is what, but this might have been what we're looking for, and I might have just accidentally got it. Okay, this is the relevator, so I don't actually think it's that good. Yeah, the relevator is gotta be the worst one, I think, right? Okay, no, that's the 1 in 4, so it's actually tied for the best. Any of these you get is very good. Personally, I do prefer the Savage Claws. I believe this has a lower cooldown, but since I did get that, I'm gonna go ahead and do this dumb little recipe thing like one more time, and just to, you know, see what the next one would have been. Please don't be what I need. Okay, yep, it's something random. It's a katana, so good thing I didn't do it on that recipe, but I'll be back once I feel very confident. Okay, I've gained my confidence. It's time to run the real recipe. So like I said, 3 Surya Falls, 3 Void Stars. Where is my eyesight, bro? There it is. And then last but not least, some Golem Hearts. And like I said, I'd throw in 2. Here we go. Please give me the Savage Claws, bro. Please, please. And oh no, it's a long sword. This is not good, bro. I don't need a katana, but please at least be a good katana. Okay, I don't think that's a good katana, bro. Usually the katanas in this world aren't that good, but you don't want to miss. That is the one thing you don't want to do. You don't have a lot of damage to sell here, so make sure you're not missing when you're crafting your stuff. And yeah, this is like the worst katana in the game or something, bro. What are you, bro? Itachi again, but hey, it's relic rarity and the damage is already 209 base. The problem here is literally the attack speed. We do not want that. That is pretty garbage, so I'm gonna do it again. Since I did get something pretty bad and, you know, my luck wasn't amazing, luckily I do have the resources in order to do this one more time. So we're going to go ahead and throw in that. My 1 eyesight. Oh, wait, I already did that. Also, make sure you're actually not using the snow eye. You don't want to do this. I believe this does break your recipe, so don't use that one. But there's our 2 Golem Hearts. And what's the last thing I'm missing? Oh, yeah, my 3 Void Stars, bro. Please, 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 please. Come on. Oh, yes. Come on. Be the good katana. Please, please. Oh, okay, you know what? It's not the worst. It's the Relevator once again. But make sure you do not miss these, bro. Come on. Okay, I will take it. Relevator, it could have been worse, man. I cannot really complain. The thing is, the cooldown on this guy is still ridiculously high, but as you can see, the damage is amazing for that cooldown. It actually looks like I'm able to do this one more time if I go ahead and use the Yeti Hearts instead. The only thing I don't have here is actually 3 of the Surya Falls, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw in an extra Yeti Heart. Hopefully this won't hurt my recipe too much. Or maybe actually, okay, 10.4 times. What if I do 3 evil eyes? Ooh, okay, the 3 evil eyes seems to be better. There we go, 10.64. Let's go ahead and do this. Please, bro, give me the best one. Oh, no, I already know this is junk. I mean, it's a rapier, which is pretty good of a weapon. But like I said, the cooldown way too high on this. I already have this on my gargantuan weapon, which is no longer going to be that good. So, yeah, not that good for this. The cooldown is significantly lower on this, but like I said, bro, that damage is really not helping us out. But I'll let you guys choose on what you want to use. Personally, I'm gonna go with what, in my opinion, is the best. And that's actually gonna just be these ones that I made right here, the second recipe. The damage on this is already more than the leveled up version of the Void Star, which I was just using. And the best part is going to the rune maker for this is going to be a little bit expensive, but I don't think it's that bad actually. Yes, 225 base, bro. This is actually a pretty good one, bro. Okay, let's go and get it to level 5 as fast as possible. Come on, bro. Please don't do this to me. There we go. Yes, we got it to 6. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead take this rune off of this Void Star and actually place it on my gauntlets where it's going to be best. Because, like I said, you can't detach runes in this game. So, there we go. Let's equip that. And for the last one, I might as well honestly just use this because I have it. And just to show you, my gargantuan weapon, although it has a lot more perks, it does 292 damage. This thing with the guaranteed infinite boss freeze, as well as a crit chance of 59%, with an increased damage of 10% and an increased crit damage of 34%, has the ability to do the same exact damage and infinitely stun. Actually, the snow is not the one that stuns, but you get my point. The snow will slow them down, but you're not going to really need it. It's just going to be this ice freeze, which right now it is at an insane 61% with a 1.8 cooldown. Let's go ahead, fight this boss one more time. All right, it has opened once again. Let's enter this thing and just completely mess up this boss. As you can see, he's trying to jump, but he's not able to do anything. And his health is coming down so fast, too, with this weapon. I did want to try dodging those, but I don't know if, like, he will still be able to hit me. However, any other attack other than the falling ones, I don't think he can hit you. I will stop moving, though, in case he does the falling attack again, just to see if it does work. And, oh, it looks like he actually cannot hit you. Or sometimes he can't. I don't know how it works for that one. But, oh, my God. Okay, he got one ability off. Now, that's going to be very uncommon, especially if you have the best sword. And, oh, my God, I just got another frost spec. Let's look at that frost spec that we just got. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You can actually go ahead and upgrade your sword even further more by coming over here, taking that frost spec that I originally put off with the attack speed because it's only 7%. Or actually, we would want to take this one off, so maybe not. Actually, you know what, bro? It is better. I don't even care what anybody has to say, okay? In my opinion, it is definitely better than the current one we have on. So I'm going to go ahead and equip this one because it gives us increased crit chance boost. Crit chance boost is the best. But if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and watch this video on the screen right here. I went to pick it for you myself because I really think you're going to enjoy it. But pick it fast because this video is about to end. Until then, see you in the next one. Bye! So subscribe.